All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Around the Game, one of the biggest sports podcasts in the country. Champions aren't made overnight. Behind every triumphant moment, there's a journey of hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Welcome to Around the Game, where we explore the stories behind the athletes who've made it to the top. Today, we're talking journey, success in sports. Join us as we dive into the struggles, the setbacks, and the triumphs that define the path to greatness. And in the studio tonight, I'm with one of Uganda's all-time greatest big men, Mr. David Kiberu. You're a four-time basketball champion in Uganda, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're very, very welcome. Say something to the viewers outside there.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for hosting me. I really appreciate for this opportunity you've given to me. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, our listeners and our viewers. We do appreciate.
I mean, we are very humbled to have you here, Mr. David Kiberu, a four-time basketball champion, a former national team player. When I began playing basketball, Power was the biggest club in Uganda. I mean, the kids of these days know it is City Oil. Power was the biggest. They had the biggest fans. I mean, when the game is tight, you hear one of the fans shouts, "Power, power, power!" Then the whole arena explodes and says, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah." I mean, it was joy to watch Power, and today I'm here with one of the people who made Power great. Let's dive into how you began playing basketball.
Yeah.
When did you begin playing basketball?
Basically, I started basketball at my high school, St. Honors School, Chitovu. That's when I started my basketball. Basically, with my height, everyone was saying basketball. Yeah, you're a basketballer, and I could say yes, I'm a basketballer, but I never stepped on court.
That was in senior one.
That was in senior one. Senior one, that's when I started basketball, and I started it at the end of the term, third term.
Yeah.
We had what we call inter-class competition, inter-stream competition, and our stream was playing basketball. So I was in the dormitory. Someone comes and picks me up. Come, you're going to play for us. You're going to play for us. So I told him I've never played basketball. But what am I going to say? He said, you come. What I remember is he told me, don't worry, you come here, our center. And this is what I told him. Where does the center stand?
Yeah.
He took me on court and told me, you stand here. All you have to make sure, don't allow anyone to get into, to come and score. Just block them.
Yeah.
And I recall...
Did you know the rules or anything?
I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
But what I remember, the moving and the putting in the ball, I made 12 points. My first time to play basketball, I started it on court and playing a game. And I made 12 points.
Yeah.
I became a basketballer there and then. So that's when I started my basketball at the St. Henry's Coach to Masaka. That was my first time. And then we ended the term, third term. So when I came back, I had that zeal in me. Hey, if I can make 12 points and it's my first time to play basketball, then basketball is easy. So I started working on my basketball. When I went back to S2, I started working on my ball handling, all the basics. That's where I started from.
Yeah.
So from Chitovu, I remember S2, that's when I worked. S3, I became the assistant captain
Of the school.
school.
Did you guys have a coach? Was there training? Did you go for tournaments before you became the assistant captain?
Yeah, we had some tournaments there, like we went to Kasasa team, Chitovu there, Masaka at Masaka.
Yeah.
Then we had the small, and even the Masaka, yeah. Those are small tournaments we had. But then in S4, I remember in S4 we got Mugisha of City Oil. That was my first coach.
Mugi, yeah?
Mugi.
Yeah.
That was my first coach at St. Honors Coach Tovu. They hired him to come and train us. We had a tournament. Remember the sprites we had?
Yeah.
Then it was in Manjas, yeah. We had Sprite. From there, I remember we qualified for the quarterfinals. And it had never happened.
That was the first time you ever participated in a tournament?
Yeah, tournament. No, before, remember, those sprites, to qualify to go for the sprite, you had to go for this region, Masaka. I remember we had those tournaments. We played in Masaka. I remember we qualified from there, from Masaka. Then
You
we
played the different schools around
yeah,
there.
different schools in Masaka. That's when we qualified for that sprite to go to Manjas. Then Manjas, they knew us as people can do anything. That's where I found these other, the Magalo, the Mande, Juruni, Kitante. Say, hey, they're in Kitante.
Magala was this in Kitante?
Magalo was in, you know, was in
Ginger
Kitante.
SS.
Ginger SS, it could be. Magalo holding the ball, it was unbelievable. Holding.
Magalo had long fingers.
Hey, that's why it's called Magalo. He was holding it, could give a scarce, hit you the way. But so it was so amazing, eh? And you could learn. There was this Kaboja. The way they are dressing up, you know, for us, we are coming from Chitovu. Eh? They call it a village.
A local school.
Local school. So you could look at these people and say, ah. But all in all, they played ball and we qualified. We qualified for the quarterfinals. It was an achievement, which I think in certain ways, by then, we had never qualified in basketball.
Yeah.
We qualified for basketball, for the quarterfinals. And in quarterfinals, they beat us. But it was a good tournament. And whoever went there, I think from then, he learned basketball. You know, basketball is not learned by, sometimes not by, on court, but even by seeing, watching.
Yeah.
You see that, you learn something. Even I remember there's a player we went with, he didn't step on court, but he just watched. When we went back to for this next term, he was really a good player. So you could wonder, was he coached?
Yeah.
But all in all, that's what happened. He learned from that, and those are the things we learned in high school. That's the basketball I played. From there, from my high school.
Before we get done with your high school, how impactful was that Sprite tournament to you personally? What did you learn from that? I mean, I was watching one of the documentaries of the USA national team, and they talked about how they were given an opportunity to stay in the same vicinity with other sportsmen. And it was really wonderful. I don't know if you also experienced the same. Because I know there was curfew at school. Now you're here outside with different schools, sharing dormitories.
Yeah, it really impacted us in the way that we learned. You know, there are certain things, as I've said, you don't learn by maybe practice, even by seeing. Like as I've said, Magalo, the way was gripping the ball. Mande Jiruni, the way was shooting, getting the ball in that tense game. So, the next term, the people who traveled there, their game changed.
They became different players.
Different players. It really impacted in that people, when you see others doing something extra than what you've been doing, you also put in more effort. So you could see the big guys. There's a certain guy who was from, I think he was from Kenya. They could just throw the ball up. The guy could just get the ball and dunk it in. Wow.
In high school?
High school. So it really encouraged us, those who couldn't do it. So next time we could just go and work more harder to reach that level.
How was the format of play? Because I've had these days, it is running time, I think like 8 minutes, just running time, every quarter running time. Scores end like 5 on 15 and full-time scores. Was it the same back then?
It was, because there were very many teams, schools which could come for that tournament. I think it was the best in high school.
Yeah, Sprite.
Yeah, Sprite. So many schools could come, so they couldn't, like as a stopping time, couldn't work. They used to do running time. Then the semis, the quarters, they could do stopping.
From quarters?
Yeah.
Okay.
From quarters, they could start doing stopping. Then the finals, it could be, they could do stopping. Maybe they could say, now let's run it the first half. Next half, we do stopping. They could agree.
2 halves, yes.
Yeah. Then that's what they could do. But then the finals could be full.
Stopping.
And it was really good. Yeah, you could enjoy. Whoever passed through that sprite, I think they're better players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, was the school supportive? Were they very grateful after that achievement of quarterfinals?
They did. They really, they thanked us. They were so grateful for that
They
achievement.
introduced you on assembly.
They did. They introduced us as the players who managed to. Actually, we made a record. The whole of Masaka had never done so. So they really appreciated us and they called us on assembly. Actually, the next time, because that sprite tournament could happen during holidays. So it had to be the next term. So they really thanked us and the players, yeah.
So by then you were still the assistant captain.
Yes, I was still assistant.
That was senior 3, senior 4.
That was, yeah, senior 4.
So after senior 4, did you go back to Chitovo or you went to another school?
I went back to Chitovo. The senior 5 and then senior 6. There I became the captain.
But how was the development of basketball, your personal development from senior 1 to A level and your teammates in general? I'm sure you lost some teammates to other schools.
We did, yeah, we lost them. True, we lost them. Our development, basically, now when we went senior 5, that's when we had time to play a bit. I remember it's a short time. During our year, we had a short senior 5. I think it was the elections, that was 2001. So it was short. Then senior 5. Our development, yes, we could play by just experience. But what happened in senior 5, what helped me in senior 5, in my senior 4, after my senior 4, that's when I started going in for, looking for real game. That's when I chose to look for a team.
In the league?
Yeah, to look for a team to play too. But what happened in that vac of my senior 4, that's when we played ball.
Where did you used to live?
I used to live at Mulago, Manda Road. Yeah. So I had to look for a team. I went to Bushcourt. Bushcourt is along Lugogo.
Yeah.
I reached there. I didn't really like Bushcourt. Not because, but I reached there. They were playing. You know, when you're still a young one, they could put you at the side.
Which players did you find on the court? Can you remember?
I can't recall their names, but there are many guys there. I can't recall their names. They were there at Bushcourt. My first time reaching there, the way it was situated, the place, I didn't like it. And when I looked around, then I went and checked in the newspaper. Basketball players, the stars. So I tried to look through the names and ask, who's this? Where does it play from? YMCA. I said, okay, this is not the right place. So I went to YMCA. YMCA could gather a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But good enough for us, the young ones, we were in our vacation, S4 vacation. We could go there as early as 2.
Yeah.
Get our ball, we play in this time because no one could come there. We play. So by the time it is 4 to 5, that's when the senior players come in, the power guys.
Which senior players?
They were there. There was the late Oaks. We had
Charlie.
Charlie was the late Bagenda Elliot. Mawiwi. Yeah. Mawiwi, you know Mawiwi Isaac. Even Magal was there.
He was already a senior player.
He was there. He's not a senior, but he was on the team.
Yeah. He was also in VAC or something. No, he was in holidays.
He was in holidays, I think. He was in holidays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Magal could come because remember from high school, he was really playing well. He was senior. Yeah? For us, we were just like rookie. So those guys were there. So by the time for us we are playing around, when we see them, we get off court.
You ran away.
Yeah. Because to us, our time could say, hey, go take porridge. It's time for porridge. So we could sit, give them the ball. That was our VAC.
Yeah.
So in our VAC, there's something which happened and which had never happened in power. There was this Abraham Lincoln tournament. It was organized by Rhino,
Yeah.
Rhino team. During that time, they said they wanted a junior team,
From Power.
from Power. So Power was a team. They had a senior team, but they didn't have a junior team. Then one of the players said, but these boys around here, let's organize from these boys. They picked us.
Yeah.
They picked 12 of us. And we went for that tournament, like a weekend tournament. In that tournament, this is one thing I still remember. We played that tournament. I won this guy of sharing. It was called Carlos.
Olaka.
Carlos. Very big. By then, small, really small. But on the post, I remember we were sharing, I played him as big because his hand was really big. Yeah? That's
Carlos was playing junior.
He played junior. I don't know how the sharing went for junior. Eh? But on the post, I remember the late bargainer told me this. You better be faster, a little bit faster on the post than him because he's bigger, experience,
And
everything
bigger.
is far better than you. So all you have to do is beat him by speed. 1 second. So when I got the ball, all I could recall is beat him by 1 second. When I got the ball, I just stand. And for him was ready to come and get in front of me.
Yeah.
So by the time he turned, I was ready ahead of him. I just went and laid up. Everyone was really, the crowd just came in.
The senior four kids.
Can do that. So we ended that game by, I think I scored 10 points as leading.
In
And the
senior
next-
four vac.
Senior form. And the next day, in the papers, I was there. Young rookie Kiberu David. Eh? So, being the first time in the newspaper, you know what it means. Everyone say, read, that they know about you.
Yeah.
So that thing also pushed me out. Say, remember we had this in the next game. Someone told me, don't read those papers. Don't read the papers.
Yeah, you're going to get
Don't read
distracted.
the papers. So went and played. The tournament ended. But it boosted me. Then after that tournament, they just put the things down. As in, the junior team for Power wasn't there.
There was no more.
But the late bargainer, Elliot, we first used to come for that time. Our normal time from 2 to 4 before they come. But he picked me up and said, Kiberu, you young man, you tall man, could you just call me tall man? Come. Do you want to be good, better than the way you are? I said, I do want. Come, join us. That's how I joined Power. Come and
From
join
senior
us.
four
Senior 4. Come and join us. You be coming train with us
in the evenings.
in the evenings. So that's when from senior 4, that's when I came to join Power. But through that tournament, that's how my luck came up. Say, come and join us. You want to be better? Just join us. Yeah.
So from senior 4, you went to A level, a very good player, improved.
I was improved.
Did you play another sprite when you're in A level?
We didn't. In A level, we didn't. No, we didn't.
You didn't. So you left the school as the captain.
Yes, I left the school as a captain. Chitovu, yeah.
What do you take away from your experience in Chitovu? What did you benefit from Chitovu as a player?
As a player, what I benefited from Chitovu, one, they gave me the opportunity to learn the game. Because if I had not stepped on that court,
In senior 1?
in that senior 1,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have played basketball. Because I could pass YMCA, that one day girl,
Yeah.
because I grew up from Mulago here.
Very
I
near.
never stepped on court. With my height, everyone could think I'm a basketballer. And they could say, hey, that guy is for basketball. Hey, basketball, I could just say, yes, I'm a basketballer. But yet I'd never touched that ball.
Yeah.
So from Chitovu, as a sportsman, what I took from me stepping on that court.
Yeah. Changed everything.
It changed everything. What came next, it was because of that time.
Yeah.
And I think that guy, that classmate was Kabuye, who picked me from the dormitory. I was in the dormitory as they are going, inter-students going to play basketball. He just picked, what are you doing? Come and play for us.
He was your classmate?
He was my classmate. Come, What basketball? I've never played. Don't worry.
Let's
Today, you say, you're going to be our center. This is what I asked him. What does the center do? Don't worry, I'll show you what. Then as with the position, just so the center stands here.
Yeah.
So that day changed. Basically introduced me to basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I really appreciate that the Chitovu as a school.
Yeah.
Maybe for putting basketball court there. Minus me stepping there, I don't think I would have played basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
From there, it geared me the rest
It's
I
history.
didn't know. Yes, history. Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the first segment. That has been one of the greatest in Uganda basketball history, David Kiberu. We'll take a very, very short break and we'll be back. Please stay tuned.